Spring has arrived and it's the perfect time to visit the Cape May County Park and Zoo. We'll find out what you'll see on your visit to the Cape May County Park and Zoo next on the Cape May County Report. Plus meet Cape May County's newest freeholder, Freeholder E. Marie Hayes. That's next on the Cape May County Report. Welcome to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director. And joining me now is Cape May County's newest freeholder, Freeholder E. Marie Hayes. Thank you for joining me, Freeholder.
Thank you for having me.
Freeholder, you were appointed to fill the unexpired term of now surrogate Susan Shepard. You were sworn into office on February the 1st. However, this is your first time as an elected position, but you served in the public domain for more than 29 years at the Cape May County Prosecutor's Office, starting as a detective and ending as a captain in the Prosecutor's Office. Tell us about being involved in the Prosecutor's Office for all those years and your growth there.
Well, I was very fortunate. I learned about the job when I was attending Atlantic Community College. It was called Atlantic Community then. And I learned about the job, and I was very fortunate. They took me in to be their juvenile detective. And as you know, the years went on, I was very fortunate to attend the police academy, work with all the local police departments, and work within, you know, the county government itself. And as my career progressed, I was able to become a sergeant, and then, you know, actively, you know, work with the detectives that were assigned to me with investigations, and then eventually lieutenant and captain, and it was a great career. It was a really good career.
Now, how does that career in law enforcement prepare you for this next phase, you know, as freeholder?
Total preparation. I mean, what was wonderful about my career is that I worked in county government. So I'm very familiar with county government and how county government worked. I was very fortunate to be able to work with every department in the county at one time or another, plus also all the municipalities. I worked with every police department within Cape May County. So it taught me to be able to, you know, just be able to work with different phases of government, also working with the state and federal government. So it was an easy segue to come back.
And also your training through the years and going to the extensive training that you've had in law enforcement, the discipline, how does that prepare you?
Well, I think what's really good about the training that I had is that it gave me the opportunity to work in so many different areas and do so many different jobs, and also be able to network throughout the state, you know, the county, state, and federal government, and be very well known in all the municipalities. And I mean, as you know, police training, that's exactly what it does. It prepares you to be very disciplined, and that's exactly what my career was. I was very disciplined.
And as a detective and then captain in the prosecutor's office, as you said, you've worked with all of the police departments in communities throughout Cape May County. It's truly a shared services type thing where you really in law enforcement where you all work together.
Sure.
Now, beyond your law enforcement and working as a captain in the prosecutor's office, you've also been strong on education, and you've also had a career and worked as an adjunct professor at Atlantic Cape Community College. Tell us about that role and what it plays in your life.
Well, I have to tell you that I started out, like I said, my career at ACC, and I always felt that I wanted to go back when I had the opportunity to give back. I had tremendous professors when I was at ACC. They helped me make the decision to go into law enforcement. So I wanted to go back to give back. And it was just, you know, it's a tremendous experience. I loved every second of it, every second of it.
Now, what did you teach in your role?
Criminal investigation.
Now, when you're dealing with students, or what are some of the things that you try to instill in them? when you're talking to them about criminal justice?
Well, I think the main focus, besides learning, the basics of criminal investigation, was that you have to learn to work with a large group of people, not just in law enforcement, but other agencies. And you have to work as a team. If you want to get it done, you have to work as a team. And I spent an enormous amount of time teaching them to work as a team, and also trying to keep my classes very interesting. I spent a tremendous amount of time preparing my classes.
Well, it's a perfect segue now to go into from teacher to now coming into another phase of your life as freeholder, where you're part of a team of 5 on the board of chosen freeholders. Tell us how it's been. You've been a freeholder now for 2 months. Tell us about that experience, and is it harder than it looks?
I can't say that it's harder. What I can tell you is that it's a lot more busy than I ever thought. I am busy all the time. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot, I'm learning as I go. Even though I knew county government, this is a whole nother phase that I'm learning. So I can tell you that, I've segued pretty well into it, but boy, am I busy. I'm really busy.
Well, you're one of 5 and under the leadership of Director Gerald Thornton. What have you learned so far? Like, what are they telling you about being a freeholder?
Well, I think the way that, the freeholders work is that everyone is given different departments, and you need to concentrate on your departments. You need to know the other departments, but that is that freeholder's department. So therefore, you have to know your department so that when an issue comes up, you can educate the other 4 freeholders. And that's basically what it is.
And then as county government as a whole, as you work to hold the line on taxes for the taxpayers, of course you came in right in the heat of the budget time and had to adopt your first budget. So when you look at that and you're trying to look at overall county government, what are some of the things that you as a freeholder feel that you'll focus on?
Well, I think it's not that far from what we used to do when I was in the prosecutor's office. You have a certain amount of money, and you have to look at it and deal with it the best way you can. You have to do more with less. And I think as a group, that's exactly what we're doing. And I think that with my business background, that gives me a little bit more of an edge, because as a business owner, you had to work within a budget. You have to. And I haven't found it that difficult at all. Maybe I will in the future, but so far not so much.
And what do you think that the most important responsibility is as an elected official to represent all of the residents in Cape May County?
Exactly what you just said, that you have to realize that you represent all the citizens of Cape May County. You might be from a specific town, but because you are a freeholder, you serve at large. And you have to make sure that you serve all. What you do is going to be for the good of all. And that's exactly how I feel. Exactly.
Now, as you said, as a business owner, we talked a little bit about the fact that you're from Atlantic and Cape May County your whole life, and you have been a business owner, and of course one of your responsibilities as freeholder is that you oversee the tourism department, and tourism is the #1 industry in Cape May County. So when you look at your business background and as a business owner in a tourist economy, how important is it that we work to promote industry and tourism?
Well, 64% of our economic development here in Cape May County comes from tourism. So therefore, that's a major industry that we have to be concerned about. And we can't take our focus off of that. And I think we learned, and we're going to learn more through the devastation that we just went through, that tourism is pinnacle, absolutely pinnacle.
Yeah. Well, now as you refer to Superstorm Sandy that hit our area at the end of October and caused damage to the shore communities, and fortunately for Cape May County, we were not hit as hard as some of our communities to the north. But the other side of this, where Sandy's still hitting us, is the fact that people perceive the shore communities as closed. And for a business owner in Cape May and Atlantic County, how important is it that the message gets out there? And I know Cape May County has worked to do that, that we are open and ready for business.
You know, it's funny because I just attended the New Jersey Tourism Convention yesterday, and they had a spokesperson talking about Katrina and how they handled it. And one of the main focuses was, you have to get the word out. You are open and you're ready, come on back. And I think Cape May County did that in a phenomenal way. And I mean, I think that was pinnacle. I think we've done it. And I think the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor was here yesterday announcing, we're here, we're open, let's get moving.
So it's important, especially you know, for businesses, so that they know that all the community is here helping to get the word out. As Freeholder of Tourism, you will host a tourism conference on Thursday, April the 25th at 2:30 p.m. and that will kick off the tourism season here in Cape May County. Tell us about the tourism conference a little bit. You have the Lieutenant Governor coming.
We do, and I'll tell you, that's big. I mean, she has been so good to us, and she's coming down to help us get the word out. And basically the theme of the conference is going to be developing the game plan after Sandy, because as you know, I mean, you have to have that game plan in place, because after that disaster is over, we need to get right back on it and have a game plan to segue right into our season. That's what we have to do.
And as we're telling people we're open and ready, and now it's a time at this conference for tourism industry members and the public to come in and learn about tools that they can use to better market their business, and so that everyone's on the same page in getting the word out. Exactly,
and there's going to be a lot of data from the research that was done to help those businesses, exactly what you said, do the marketing and be able to target what they need to help also their business.
And that's a good point. The tourism department under Diane Weiland does a survey every year, and the business industry looked forward to seeing those numbers, to see why people are coming to Cape May County, and those results will be revealed at the conference on April the 25th.
They certainly will.
Also, as Freeholder, you're the liaison to the Chamber of Commerce, which seems to be a perfect fit as a small business owner. Tell us how important it is for the business community to feel that government is working with them.
Well, I think it's the same as, and I'm going to refer back to my police days. You know, your municipalities want to know when you're sitting up in the prosecutor's office that you're there to help. And when we had situations, we were there to work together as a team. And in Cape May County, and as I sit as a freeholder for the whole county, that's exactly what it's all about. We are all in this together, all of us. It doesn't matter if you're from the north of the county or the south of the county. We're all in it together. It's all Cape May County.
Well, spring is here, and when we're talking about people want to go outdoors, and tourism is a great department that you have, but one of the other departments that you have is probably hands down the best department in the county, and that's the Cape May County Park and Zoo. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll find out what you can see at our county park and zoo and what lies ahead as spring is here in Cape May County. Stay with us.
How far would you go to build a kingdom? How far to save a species? To shoot the rapids? To bolt at the speed of lightning? How far would you go to live in another century? To share new discoveries? To make the summer last forever? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
How far would you go to discover a new treasure? How far to stand on the edge of the earth? To step back in time? To be amazed? How far would you go to lower your heart rate, to heighten your senses, to breathe, really breathe? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
Welcome back to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenore Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder E. Marie Hayes. And joining us now is Mike Laffey, who's the Parks Director for Cape May County. Thank you for joining us, Mike.
You're welcome.
Freeholder, we talked a little bit about before the break about tourism being the #1 industry in Cape May County, and having things for people to do once they come to Cape May County is important. And the Cape May County Park and Zoo, which county government runs and operates and keeps free for the public, is not only a great asset for residents but for visitors as well. Why is it important to have such a facility as this for our residents and visitors?
Well, I think for diversity in what they can do when they come to our county, plus, I mean, who doesn't love a zoo? And I have to tell you, our zoo rivals any zoo that I've gone to. And it's the #1 thing is, in these economic times, it's free. So what more can be said?
And as the Freeholder said, maybe we should start right off with the accolades. Last year, TripAdvisor named you as one of the top 3 zoos, the Cape May County Zoo. You also received a number of other awards, and probably the biggest a credit to the zoo is that it received accreditation again last year. How important is that to a zoo?
Well, the AZA accreditation is important to our facility and Cape May County. There are only 218 accredited zoos and aquariums in North America. So out of like 2,000 facilities nationwide and in Canada, only 10% receive that accreditation. It's just a level of animal care and how we operate our facility. We're ranked among some of the best zoos in the country.
And what the Freeholder said, in Cape May County, when the zoo opened its doors in 1978, it was considered a small petting zoo, and today it's on more than 200 acres in the encompass the Cape May County Park, 85 acres of the zoo, 3 main exhibits, and more coming. Tell us about some exhibits that are planned for the zoo and that are almost done.
Okay, right now we've been working on a plan for our spotted leopard exhibit. As you know, it was destroyed in a storm over 2 years ago. We finalized the plan, and hopefully we'll go out to bid soon for the spotted leopard exhibit. And that's key at this point because in the future, if we're fortunate enough to have snow leopard cubs again, we'll be able to separate mom and the kids into one exhibit, and then the father would have an exhibit of his own. Because when we do have cubs, we kind of separate them and shift time in the outside enclosure, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, all of us remember the major snowstorms that we had in 2010 that caused the damage to the exhibit, and working to rebuild that was important, especially since 2010. 5 snow leopard cubs have been born at the Cape May County Zoo. So having a place for them and the other spotted leopards is important to grow that area.
It really is. I mean, we're one of the top zoos in the country. There's only 6 or 7 zoos in North America that successfully breed snow leopards. For the past 3 years, we bred snow leopards, and 5 cubs, like you said, have been loaned to other facilities, AZA facilities across the country on breeding loans, and hopefully those cubs, when they mature, will have cubs of their own.
And now with the original snow leopards here still at the Cape May County Zoo, is there anticipation that more snow leopard cubs may soon arrive at the Cape May County Zoo?
Well, again, we have a great set of parents. They have done a great job. They've raised 5 cubs at this point. They have been breeding, so fortunately, we hope that they are pregnant again. But again, we have started our pregnancy testing recently, and by the time the testing is completed, the cubs are usually born just shortly after that. So we're hoping that we have cubs again this year because they're a great attraction.
And there's always something new for someone to see. As we said, you know, spring is here for people that come back to the Cape May County Zoo. They'll always see something new, and we do have a renovation to the farmland area in the zoo that you're getting ready to reopen.
We should probably cut a ribbon on that pretty soon. We just moved the pigs back into that area. We worked on that in-house this past fall, and we almost tripled the size of the area in the farmyard area. We have a great collection of goats out there. We do plan on perhaps getting cows in the future as well, and it's just a more farm-like feel than we had before. It was a chain link fenced area around the barnyard. We added a small barn for goats and pigs, and basically expanded the area, and the viewing is a lot better for the visitors that come, and we have off exhibit areas there too, so that we can shift some of the goats towards the back so that they don't eat too much of the food that the people give them.
Now, Freeholder, with keeping the park and zoo free, and the freeholders have been committed to improving the zoo year after year, why is it important that we reinvest and keep the area growing?
Well, I think because the zoo has proven itself. I mean, it is a big attraction in Cape May County now. We have a phenomenal department head there, and I think it's just, I mean, it has proved itself to be worthy of getting bigger.
And people enjoy coming to the park and zoo, and as the freeholder said before, in tough economic times, having some place where someone can come with their entire family, and if they choose not to spend anything, they don't have to. And one of the popular things that they like to see when they come to the zoo is probably our tiger, Rocky, and I know one of the things that you're looking is phase 2 of the tiger exhibit. Tell us about that expansion.
About 3 years ago, we started renovation at Rock exhibit, and we put a waterfall with a rock face in there, as well as a high berm for Rocky to get comfortable in. Phase 2 of that, with the help of the Zoological Society, we're going to have some wire mesh viewing down the end that'll go right into the refreshment stand that we built last year, which is the Tiger Hut, and that's run by Aramark. But the Zoo Society has been instrumental in trying to raise funds to do projects like this every year. As you know, 2 years ago they rebuilt the Bald Eagle exhibit, and they raised a lot of money, and we do the work in-house. I can't say enough about the staff that we have, that they're talented, they build things in-house, and that saves a lot of county tax dollars when we do it that way.
And with keeping the zoo free, how important is private-public partnerships for projects such as the tiger exhibit?
Extremely important. I mean, because that's why we can keep the zoo free. I mean, we need that. And it's, you know, what better to give to? And I have to tell you that when Mike took me on the tour of the zoo, Rocky was quite intimidating. And Mike was explaining to me how they're going to put up this, you know, mesh, and it's just going to give it a beautiful viewing area. So I really encourage everybody, because you have to come and see Rocky. He's something.
We have so many wonderful animals. With more than 500 animals, somebody will find something they love. And of course, with the African savanna, the reptile house, and the World of Birds aviary, there's something for everyone. Everybody's excited to see new arrivals, new babies. New this year, if people hurry on over, they might see some wallaby joeys.
That's true. We have 2 baby wallabies that were born recently, and one has come out of the pouch completely. The other one's starting to pop its head out. So if you want to see the babies inside of the pouch, you might want to come out and visit us pretty soon. But the reason it's so significant is the male, the father of the babies, is an albino, and it's one of 2 albinos in North America at AZA Zoo. So SSP decided to let us breed those in hopes to breed more albino wallabies. The first joey is not albino, so the second one hasn't developed hair yet, so we're hoping that maybe the second one is albino, but we're not sure at this point.
So either way, it's something new to see. Also coming in April this month, people can also see a new horned oryx.
It's just a great addition to the savanna. I know that I think a lot of different facilities love our savanna. It's 57 acres. There's great room. We have 4 giraffe out there. We have Watusi. We have bongo, mountain bongo, and we are going to get 3 new horned oryx. So they're a gazelle, or an antelope, and they'll be in the top end of the savanna, and they'll be on view probably, hopefully within the next month or so.
Now, we all talked about visitors coming to Cape May County, and we're going to have a visitor not from China, but a Chinese alligator coming to Cape May County. Tell us about that exhibit.
Again, Chinese alligator, these aren't coming from China, they're coming from Florida, from the St. Augustine Gator Farm down there. We'll have 4 Chinese alligators, and they'll take place of the American alligators that we had in our exhibit previously. They are very rare crocodilians, so it's SSP. It's kind of one of the rarest species of crocodilian that we'll have on exhibit at our place here in Cape May County.
There's so much that we could say about the Cape May County Park and Zoo, but before we run out of time, I do want to talk about there's so many special events that happen throughout the year, and in April you celebrate Earth Day with a great Earth Day celebration on April the 20th. Tell us about the Earth Day celebration.
Well, the Earth Day Fair is in cooperation with the Cape May County MUA, the Beach Plum Association, New Jersey Beekeepers Association, and Cape May County. It's an all-day fair. It kicks off with a 1-mile health walk / run if you want to run, and then a 5K run after that. And then we have live music throughout the day. We have an interactive drum circle for families to be involved in. We have 2 magic shows that kind of have a recycling theme to it. We'll have several crafters, probably 30 or 40 different crafters, and most important, we'll have at least 35 to 40 educational entities under tents on our main field by the bandstand, providing kids and family activities all day long, all kinds of arts and crafts activities for kids to do. It's without a doubt a worthwhile event, and a free worthwhile event for people to come out to visit.
That's the idea. You know, Freeholder, I know the Freeholders host special events throughout the year at the Park and Zoo with keeping them free. You hosted an Earth Day Lodo contest. You're going to unveil the winner on April the 9th, and then be at the Park and Zoo on April 20th for a presentation as well.
Absolutely. It was the first time, and it wasn't an easy decision.
And the theme this year is Respect the Planet, so there'll be a lot of things going on at the Cape May County Park and Zoo on April the 20th. Some of the new things, just as we sum up the last minute or so, when you look at the park itself, as we said, there's 200 acres there. There's walking trails, there's playgrounds, there's baseball fields, but probably the newest improvement there is the courtyard.
The courtyard leading into the zoo entrance just establishes a great meeting place for people to run special. We have special events there. We do a bird of prey show in the summertime. There's again the concession stand for people to get refreshments and food. We have the train ride for kids to do, the Zoo Society sponsors, and we also have a carousel there for kids to ride by the courtyard as well. And it's just a safer way to enter the zoo than what we used to have, without a doubt.
And before we leave, we do want to mention that, as we've been saying all along, that the zoo is free, the Park and Zoo is free, and a lot of what we do, you're able to do because of donations and volunteers. How important are donations and volunteers to the Park and Zoo?
Well, without a doubt, donations are the lifeline to keep the place free. We do anticipate having a great year because the tourism department and the county and communications have done a great job letting everyone know that we are open for business here in Cape May County. So we do thrive on the donations, and if anyone's interested in volunteering, just contact our main office, and we can use all the help we can possibly get.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Freeholder. We look forward to seeing you in Cape May County. Until next time, I'm Lenora Bonafonte. See you on the Cape May County Report. Thank you for joining us.